Hey everyone, today we are back in the custom pack, and if you see the name of the pack, that name is not right. It's supposed to be Goblin form, not Gobleform. It's all about the Goblin Shark. So if you've ran custom packs anytime in the last, gosh, I'd say like 8 months, you've probably ran into one of these teams. When the Goblin Shark first came out, it was very, very popular with one piece of equipment, and that is Goblin Shark Seaweed. And it was one of the most annoying things ever. Let me explain what it does. The Goblin Shark will swallow an enemy pet based on the amount of health it has. So at level 1, 6 or less health, level 2, 12 or less health, and 18 or less health at level 3. So basically, you need to guarantee, or you need to ensure that your opponent's going to have pets that don't have a lot of health, right? So if you run any of those meta scalers, it's not going to go too well. So yeah, the plan is basically to get some Goblin Sharks to gobble up some enemies and to transform them. So now that there's a bunch of transform pets and perks in the shop, I figure, you know what, this thing might be here to stay. So let's just embrace it for now. Let's give it a try. See how it feels, right? Because a lot of times I complain about this stuff and these broken builds, and I refuse to do them, right? I'm talking to you, poopa-traders. Talking to you, Ryan Shadow Golden. Here I go again, just dogging on Ryan Shadow Golden for no reason whatsoever, for making a mark on SAP history. So yeah, this is this run here. It's just all about trying to preserve hearts, right? We still have 4 hearts turn 5. We can level up into Goblin Sharks now. And the goal is just to find as many Goblin Sharks as possible and then find something to transform them. So because I didn't hit the tier 3 transform pet on the level up, I'm assuming I'm not taking that. Probably just going to wait for some perks or for the tier 6 transform pet, the Silky Silfaka. So we level up into Skunk, which I think at this point is probably better than Goblin Shark. We can do the frog swap onto the Skunk. Luckily, we rolled into both of our tier 1 level ups at the end of the turn there. It's kind of a perfect level, or perfect roll. Would have been very worried if I didn't find those level ups. Or I should say, if I didn't find those level ups, you wouldn't be seeing this run most likely. Because it probably wouldn't have been as successful of a run. Let's see what we get. Turn 6, a Cockatoo and a Goblin Shark. Honestly, it's too perfect. We can sell the frog, we can sell the Cockatoo, buy the Goblin Shark. Yeah, talk about a perfect turn. Would love to sell this Dirty Rat, maybe. Yep, I am. Sell the Dirty Rat, bring in the Goblin Shark. So now we have the setup, kind of like Dolphin Skunk. If you're going to put equipment on your Goblin Shark, you want to make sure your Skunk is going to be higher attack than the Goblin Shark or the Dolphin or whatever else you're using it with. You see in the shop there, I have Churros. That was in case I get a late Skunk set up and I needed to do something about my statted up Goblin Sharks. But that wasn't the goal. The goal was to leave the Goblin Sharks as close to base stats as possible. I don't like using Churros unless I absolutely have to, and unless like I want to ensure I'm going to trigger before the enemy team. Churros a great piece of equipment, but I don't like to just default to it. I like to try to make a team work without it first. Kind of like the runs where I do a test of strength. You know, can this team win without any perks or equipment? If so, that probably shows it's a very good team, and the team's probably going to hold up for many rounds later. You know, if you're not using mushrooms and melons and okras and lemons, you're probably going to have a bad time, unless you're running a very strong team. So, uh-oh, Meta Brusk froze a banana. Oh gosh, here we go. I don't really want a lot of scaling on this team. As you see, we swallow something and then we spit it out. And we got very lucky with the matches there. And there we go. 2 Goblin Sharks is all we needed. Need a pill as well, but we have this open slot for the Cockatoo. Double Goblin Shark. That's the goal. That's the name of the game. Don't do the banana. There we go. Look at me. I take a pear instead of a banana. How nice is that? That's just refreshing. Knowing that I can be somewhat disciplined. I don't know what we swallowed, but we swallowed 2 things. And the blobfish KOs the bison, so they don't get to see their pets anymore. So there's a new perk that comes up on tier 5 at turn 9. It is the it looks like a cocoa bean, is that right? Or like a coffee bean. I don't know exactly. That might be what it's called. I actually don't remember what it's called because we got a run in the bonus clip with it. That's going to be coming up. This run here, I don't remember exactly what equipment we take. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, you can see I'm taking my sweet old time here with this cow. I think... Okay, so here's where we're at. If we don't want to use churros, we're getting a bunch of starter battle pets, including the Silky Sofaka. So I split those milks just because if we level this Silky Sofaka to level 3, its attack is going to be close to the Goblin Sharks. So we want to make sure it's going to be above the Goblin Sharks. We want to activate Skunk, Goblin Shark, Silky Sofaka in that order. So the attack must be in that order as well. And it's pretty simple at this point to keep it that way. I would assume there's probably pizza in this pack, so I think that's the only thing I need to avoid. And if you missed that, rewind that and check that out. They had a Nudibranch with a melon on it. We reduced it to 3 HP, I believe, and then swallowed it. It was the biggest unit on their team. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for here. And that's exactly why the Goblin Shark is so frustrating. You can build this great team, and then it's like, nope, your team's gone. I mean, this team, not that great. I guess they're going for the macaque. Or do they still get the orangutan? They should, right? Yeah, of course they do. But yeah, look, we swallowed 2 pets. We transform into a lionfish and an orca. Oh my gosh, a backline orca. I mean, talk about going from a goblin shark, which is not much in battle after its ability has gone off, to an orca, which could be so many possibilities. So here you go. We could pill the blobfish. Perfect amount of gold to buy one more thing. And the California Condor shows up. Shout out the California Condor. Me being a California kid, I would expect it to be more familiar with me, or I would expect myself to be more familiar with the California Condor. Don't know too much about it, to be honest. So that's something I'll look up later. And yeah, level 2 Silky Sofaka. So that means both of these, the Walrus and the Phoenix, the California Condor gets the ability. It's actually the first time I've used the California Condor. I've really wanted to use it in some other runs, transform runs. It just never quite fit on my team. And I think the Silky Sofaka there got a crisp and then a peanut butter immediately overriding it. So that was kind of an interesting quick interaction there. And here we go, 9 trophies, 4 hearts. Yeah, no equipment at all on the team. We're just pushing for level ups. I think some equipment wouldn't be too bad. I can actually throw this pizza if I want, but decided to just take the Goblin Shark stack. We have the hearts to spare, so I figure, yeah, we can do something about it. And look at this team. Look at this team. They got the eagle and the panda to get the stats. They were planning on doing something with it. Instead, they get a giant isopod, so they get to replace the HP on their vulture eagle. Is that what it is? Something like that. Oh, I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. Luckily, we get the peanut butter to line up, and we get the final KO. So, a very quick win there. And I think that's what's necessary for the Goblin Sharks, because if you go to turn 15 plus, things could get very dangerous. So here you see 9 trophies on turn 12 again. Very, very quick win. Just another quick one. Of course, level 3 hatching chick makes it so easy. I had the tiger on that team as well, and I wanted to do this with the tiger. You either put it behind the skunk or the Goblin Shark. If we have a level 1 Goblin Shark on the team still, I think having multiple skunks is very necessary. Can ensure that maybe we can get a pet down to 6 HP. Unfortunately, in this case, not. So it looks like our level 2 is going to be the only thing that swallows something. Oh no, look at that. It actually does. Oh, the level 2 tiger ability behind the Goblin Shark. So that was kind of cool. Our level 1 Goblin Shark actually did nothing. And the goal here is to see the transform. I want to see the Goblin Sharks transform. The only problem is I had way too many stats. And if you saw it there, they actually removed our equipment on our front Goblin Shark with the Garanuk. So that was pretty funny. And here you go. It's Rhino Tiger, Real Velo, probably one of the most devastating teams we run into. And look at how quick and simple and amazing that battle was. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Usually when you face Rhino Tiger, it's a big series of KOs, snipes, KOs, snipes. If the battle goes quick, it's usually because your team is getting absolutely deleted. So that's one of my most favoritist battles in Super Auto Pets history right there. I'm not gonna lie. I shook my head and like leaned back and I was like, wait, what? Did it? And I rewatched the battle and I was like, no, it's just the build just worked. The build simply just worked. And here you go. It's more transform teams. I was trying to, in my original runs in the Goblin form pack, to basically run multiple transforms. I wanted to swallow their pets. I wanted to transform their pets. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to transform my pets. So that was kind of cool. That's why you see Cockatrice. What else we got in here? We got some others. Oh, the transform starter battle tier 5. That was to kind of help the California Condor. And this is a good example. This team right here of kind of the mix of everything I was going for. You know, between the California Condor, the transform synergy, the Goblin Shark, and the transform their team. Yeah, I had a lot of hope for these runs, but as you see, turn 15, we start running the big teams. The Walruses always seem to be in the very back. I was going back and forth between having the Condors in the front and the back. Some of these are so cool. Get the Tarantula Hawk, and the Condor gets the Tarantula Hawk as well. But we're just barely missing out on these trades. And then you know it's coming. You know the full 50-50 sea and enemy squad's coming. Oh, it's just so ridiculous. Ooh, our Condor actually got some peanuts here. Can we do something about it? I mean, this is like best case scenario, right? For trying to beat one of these teams. Lionfish, break the melons. If only we had some more summons. Our salmon already has a peanut butter, so yeah, that's how it goes. So that's why you saw the main run in those runs, you know, winning on turn 12, turn 13, those early wins. And shout out Matchman 7. Matchman 7 and I went back and forth so many times with these Bongai Cardinalfish teams. They were running Squash Panther, which is an amazing combo. I'll link their video description if they have it out already. I was running just straight Cardinalfish high health units, go smash, trying to get as many attacks as possible. And there were some really funny battles. I think that's the only one that made it to all the clips. All the other ones were kind of just failed runs, usually losing to Matchman 7. And then we were messaging each other and they were like, yeah, I've done so many runs, I can't get a win. I was like, dude, you're smashing me so much. Like, that's crazy. You can't get a win. So with all that being said, we're going to ride off into the sunset. So if you hung around this long, let me know what you think of this build. What do you think of Gobleform? How do you compare it to like the Vulture builds and the other crazy builds we see all the time? I think this one's pretty cool. I've turned around on it. As always, have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next one.